Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Pokemon anime Lookback project thing that I got going on. I am Wes, the Average Trainer, and today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of the anime, which is entitled Ash Catches a Pokemon. Now, right off the bat, you have to say that this title is really a bit of a misnomer because Ash doesn't just catch one Pokemon. No, he catches two. And not only that, but one of them that he catches in this episode actually evolves. So it's not really accurate. It should say more like Ash catches Pokemon. That would be a little bit more accurate. But, putting the A in front of Pokemon, no, it's not. But anyway, this episode is pretty good, I'd say. It just follows Ash catching Pokemon and kind of learning about how to be a trainer, how battling actually works. It kind of furthers his relationship with Misty a bit, which I'll get to later on, but it's just a really interesting episode. Ash's journey that you see here really reflects how probably a lot of the kids felt when they were playing the games. I know certainly that is for me because I can remember going through the Viridian Forest and really searching out for the best Pokemon and trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing. I don't understand what's going on, and you could really relate to Ash on many levels. He's a bit cocky, letting you know that up front. But I think he learns a bit of a lesson by the end. He was able to catch Caterpie with pretty much no problem, just throwing the Pokeball and there you got it, and sometimes you can make those lucky throws. But when he had to fight Pidgeotto, he realized, oh no, I can't just do this. I can't just throw the Pokeball and just expect to get good like that quick. You actually have to go through a learning process. And, I think a lot of the episodes in this first season of the anime really brings him through a learning process, and he fails. It's good that we see a protagonist fail. I think that's something that kids can relate to because, kids aren't immediately good at everything that they do. So it was interesting to see that. And, now that I'm teaching kids at around this age who, if we were in the Pokemon world, would be going on a Pokemon journey, I can kind of see how my students would act in that kind of situation. And it's kind of interesting to me. But anyway, it's an enjoyable episode overall. Caterpie and Pikachu's little moonlight conversation is something that really stuck out to me because they have this entire conversation that we're really not privy to because they're just saying their names and conversing like Pokemon do. And it's like, well, what were they actually talking about? They were looking up at the moon and the stars, and it was a nice clear night, and you could see them kind of miming out what they were saying or using their body language. And, there's no subtitles, so you don't really know what they're saying per se. But, it sounds like it would be a pretty cool conversation to listen into, and you kind of get the gist of it. And by the end, Caterpie looks up at the moon and he envisions himself as a Butterfree, and that's where we will eventually get to. So good little bit of foreshadowing there. And then the second to last thing I really want to talk about is Ash and Misty. I'm kind of glad that they're not really setting it up like this quickly on, like some kind of romantic love interest, whatnot. They're rivals in a sense, and they're kind of becoming friends a little bit begrudgingly. And Misty is already using that excuse of the bike being the reason that she's following him around. And, that's going to be getting old. Eventually she'll forget it, but that's like many dozens of episodes down the road. But it's good. They're just kind of friends. They can be friends. No problems there. But then I wanted to bring up something about Caterpie, and Caterpie evolves really quickly. And I get that kind of emulates the games, but I honestly wish they maybe would have waited one more episode. Maybe Caterpie goes up against another stronger foe or something and then evolved, but I guess they kind of were, mimicking what the games do. Caterpie evolves really quickly after you catch him, but even then it takes a couple of levels, but I digress. It was still a good episode overall, and I'm not going to hold that against it, but, they're kind of just booking along at this point. They probably had no idea what they had in their hands, but popular franchises, they kind of just evolve out of nowhere, I guess. So Caterpie is representative of the franchise? No, that might be a bit reaching. But anyway, I enjoyed this episode. It was good to see Team Rocket really come off almost like foreboding, but then immediately get into that comedic role, because that's clearly what they're going to be for the next, 20-something years of the seasons that go on. So honestly, you may as well just get that over with because they're just kind of the recurring joke characters. But anyway, next time, please join me for Challenge of the Samurai, which is episode 4. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay average. Goodbye.